T7.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Wine Vault Radio with Jason Bryant from winevaulttv.com.
Yes, currently you got his head buried in the latest Rip It Up. It's Jason Bryant, Wine Vault TV. I didn't pick you as a Rip It Up reader, Jason.
Do you know, I like the format. This isn't a plug for it or anything. We're not paid to advertise this. But I like the size. It's what Metro used to be. Yeah. Maybe Metro is a slightly bit bigger. And I really like the texture, the feel. The
smell?
And, everything's homely and good about it.
Yeah.
And old school.
Okay. Well, there's not a lot of music press going on in New Zealand at the moment.
No. And do you know, I was looking and I saw Moby and I didn't realise...
New album,
but also an interesting thing, a real big plug for New Zealand, as I flick through here. Yeah.
What's he saying?
Talks about no place is perfect except for New Zealand, and I'm not just being a sycophant.
Perfect? He considers us to be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't read our 100% pure campaign brief.
We, as New Zealanders, I guess we're always down on ourselves, aren't we? And then we do need to turn around and look around and go, actually pretty good. Yeah. Relatively. Yeah. Relatively pretty good.
Yeah, when you look at kind of Europe and when you look at America and a few other places, you realise, and even Australia to a certain degree, that New Zealand has got a good track record.
Yeah.
And it's a fairly clean, green place to live, but when you put it in context to other countries.
But then you see your friends on Facebook who are currently swanning around the world, places like Europe and stuff, and you go, man, they look like they're having a good time.
Well, because they've got no cares. And they've got no responsibilities, and they're not stuck in a rut, and so you're all footloose and fancy-free until you come back to reality, and no matter where you start residing for longer than 2 years, you end up in the life's rut.
Right. The drudgery. Yeah. Drudgery, is that a word?
Yeah, I mean, I came over here when I was 28, and by the time I was kind of like 31, I'd got myself into one of life's ruts, where I didn't travel as much as I had been. And so kind of like you look at your friends, and they're doing what kind of your other friends have already done or are going to do, and so people are in just different places of their life and circumstance.
As good as Glastonbury, the Glastonbury lineup was this year, I'm glad I'm not there. Have you seen the photos?
No. Do you know, I was looking last night, and because it's always around my birthday, so it was last weekend, wasn't it?
No, it's this weekend.
It's this weekend coming,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Because it's always around my birthday, and I was thinking, do you know, I didn't see anything about Glastonbury.
Yeah.
And
the photos mud from because it was raining.
Wet.
Yeah, it was raining before it started. I think today or yesterday, overnight our time, is sort of a fine day, and then the rain is going to start again. I've seen the weather forecast, and it is just literally, people arriving, walking to their campsite through just a foot of mud, and it's probably going to turn out to be 10 foot.
I've got really fond memories of being at Glastonbury. I went there kind of 3 years on the trot. 92, 93, 94, and we were up in the kind of medical field, which is kind of a lot more elevated.
Oh, and your capacity as...
I did a 6-hour shift for them, and so I got a free ticket.
Okay.
And so also you get the premium camping spot at the top, and so
looking down on
it is looking down on the masses, wading through that kind of mud. But kind of like 92 was absolutely great. 93 was good. 94 was, from memory, was just muddy so where we were perched above, we could see the pyramid stage, and got woken up with Rolf Harris playing his wobble board, Stairway to Heaven and stuff like that. And you know what, for me, that evokes great memories, and he's still playing. I think he's playing this year.
Is he?
Yeah.
The Wombles are playing as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Wombles band.
My goodness. But it's such an extraordinary event that it could only... The population density facilitates kind of like this event to take place in the UK, and it's in such an extraordinary place, and the origins of the event are fascinating as well. That kind of green hippie event,
but just this year, I mean, I'd imagine people are still going to have a good time, right? But just arriving in mud just seems far more difficult than it evolving into mud. To a festival. Just as soon as you get there, the conditions are bad.
If you get there and you plant your tent and then it rains, right, it's not as bad, right? Yeah. But if you get there and things are... I mean, because they're having a particularly bad summer.
They had an extraordinary spring, really, really warm. Records were broken all over the show. A drought, and now it's starting to rain, and it's not warm, it's cold.
It's colder. It's colder than Auckland. where they are holding Glastonbury. It's just down the road from my parents.
That's crazy.
And so they're in... But summer over there never really starts, just like winter doesn't really start here until July, August, September.
Yeah.
Over there, summer really starts July, August, and a bit of September.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes you get that late Indian summer. So I wouldn't write summer off over in the UK just yet and be too down on it. But Glastonbury would be... It's a fun place and environment, and the people are all there for the same reason. And most of the people stay up for the 3 days continuously, or.
Can you take your own drink in? Because I saw someone carrying in beer and these
because
photos.
you're camping. It's essentially a campsite, and then the music is on the side.
Yeah.
So you can take all of that stuff. The
Really?
only thing that you're really not permitted to take in your own drugs.
Right.
They supply them for you.
Yeah, yeah. There's the dealers arrive before everyone else, right, and set up camp. I think that's how that works. Yeah. But that's quite different to New Zealand. There's no way most festivals you can't bring your own booze.
It has a relatively good safety record for kind of alcohol and stuff. It's sometimes get a bit marginal with a few of the drugs that go on there.
Yeah. But that's what you were set up there for, to take care of those people.
yeah, but kind of we ended up taking care of people with broken ankles and stuff like
Right,
that, and
yeah.
so kind of not the drug overdoses as much, because my first shift was on the Thursday night.
Oh yeah, but early.
So early. So I didn't get the dregs of kind of like Sunday night when everybody's having to leave, or early Monday morning, kind of, and you go, oh, God.
Look at that. Who's still lying in the mud, hasn't gotten up yet.
But you are allowed to take wine and beer and stuff in, so it's really good. But also they do supply that kind of stuff as well. And the food there is fantastic.
Yeah.
You got a lot of kind of ethnic food, and so it's really a food, music, culture festival. Far more than people think. People think that it's just a kind of a festival for 3 days that people just get absolutely stoned and that's it. But they have comedy, they have arts,
Everything.
and they've got everything there. And it's kind of over 100,000 people, so it's kind of like Hamilton.
Yeah.
So everybody in Hamilton going to a festival. I mean, it's pretty huge.
Banksy's even been turning up recently, putting installations in there.
Yeah, but no one knows.
Yeah.
That time he came out.
Yeah.
But on the wine subject, because we're going to taste a Marlborough 2010 Riesling from St. Clair, Winery of the Year. But the interesting thing that I've been talking kind of ice hockey for quite a while now, because the Stanley Cup's just finished, and the
riots are finished.
The riots are finished. Yeah, I got to see the bar tab
For the winner.
for the winning team, the Boston Bruins, and it was $156,874.
Wow.
Well,
that's a whole team, right? Plus their partners, supporters.
that was one night for the
management.
no, that's just for the team and not for the supporters, but just for the team and partners, and but generally the partners kind of tend to give that bit of a miss.
Yeah.
And one bottle cost $100,000.
Holy
It was
heck.
30 litres, so I mean that's pretty much 30 kg plus the bottle is probably another 20 kg.
Yeah.
So it's 50 kg before you can actually sip that puppy.
Champagne.
Champagne, yep. And there's only 6 in the world made, and they had one of them. And it's a gold bottle. It's called the Ace of Spades.
Is it like as tall as what?
Well, it's
or-
pretty tall.
Yeah.
It's quite wide though.
Yeah. And
Also,
it's shaped like a proper bottle.
it's just a
large
in a large champagne bottle, but it's all gold with an Ace of Spades on the front.
What would you need? A forklift to...
Well, you need to be a
that round.
professional athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd need to be a hockey team.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't just be the single sports person drinking it, celebrating.
No.
Not that you could drink 30 litres anyway, but kind of, you'd need to be a team sports.
Okay.
Or a sports
So
team.
how would you can't pour that into a glass, can you?
Well, no. Well, you 30 litres. A lot of it just gets sprayed around.
Like a straw.
Yeah, I mean that would probably tend to go to their heads, as the myth goes. Well, anyway, let's kick off with this.
Yes.
Riesling. It's for me. It's kind of it's a grape that should be celebrated but isn't celebrated. It's a really, really difficult one, and I've been tasting quite a few Rieslings of late because you can have it in the winter. It's quite a versatile wine and grape variety that can go from really austere dry to really, really sweet in the noble end with the botrytis, and so kind of that versatility makes it a winner, but people do not like it.
I think has it gone out of fashion? Is that what
It is out of fashion, and it's all the wine writers, wine critics that really love it and harp on about it.
Yeah.
And a famous Rhone winemaker, Michel Chapoudier, has just come out recently and said that the kerosene terpene type characters on the nose that you get, which are a wine fault, and they shouldn't be displayed kind of at all.
Okay.
I tend to disagree with it because I think that there's an attractive alternate kind of layer to the wine as well as the primary fruit character. So, yeah.
Let's get our noses into this St. Clair.
Yeah. I get a mandarin citrus lime peel with a bit of grapefruit.
Very fragrant, for sure.
Yeah, but it is all of those kind of citrus pipped fruits for me.
A little bit dishwashy, but maybe that's the glass.
I think that was the glass. I was just trying to take that out of it, but I think that is the glass. It's not the wine. Otherwise, we'd be talking about wine faults, but it's not that.
Wow. Grapefruity.
It's got that grapefruit pith kind of character, texture, and I'm still sucking on it now. It does make me suck.
But erring on the, as you're saying, on the nose, the lime.
Yep.
There as well. Really nice lime, actually. Right, really clean, crisp.
It is very clean.
refreshing
It's
lime.
quite linear at the moment. I mean, it will develop over time and start to become a bit more broad spectrum, but it is quite focused. It is that citrus character, especially that lime and grapefruit coming right the way down from front to back. And
You'd have this with some Mexican.
yeah, and I mean, this is one of the things that it can be versatile in the fact that it can be matched with a lot of foods as well. Like, you can go from the Asian sector, kind of Thai, steer away from the curry probably, but certainly Thai, Vietnamese, Chinese, and then you can go across to South America and have some food across that way as well.
Nice.
Which, I mean, it's ironic that they don't, because they tend to drink beer, and I tend to drink beer when I'm having Mexican.
Yeah, true.
So
What price point?
So you're looking kind of right now, kind of under $15 and under.
Wow. Good
Yeah.
price.
Very, very good price.
And for that, then, what will you give it?
88 points.
Pretty
All the
good.
8's 88.
The St. Clair 2010 Riesling.
Yeah.
That has been Jason Bryant. You can find him on Twitter, twitter.com/Jason_Bryant, and also at winevaulttv.com. See you next time.